Google has built the most powerful data collection machine in human history. Their entire business model runs on knowing what you search, what you ask, where you go. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is their quarterly earnings report. So watch this very carefully. My iPhone is in airplane mode right now. No Wi-Fi, no data, no signal. And I just asked a deeply personal question to a Google AI, and Google has absolutely no idea I asked it. It processed the entire thing right here on my phone for free with zero internet connection. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand why what just happened is actually a bigger story than anything else Google announced this week. The app is called Google AI Edge Gallery. Yes, Google made it, and I know that sounds like it defeats the entire point, but this is exactly where it gets interesting. Because here's the thing, even Google's own servers cannot see what you're asking. The same company that runs the world's largest advertising and data infrastructure just shipped a model that runs completely offline on your phone, and the moment it does, they are locked out. That is not a policy promise buried in a terms of service document. That is physics. If the internet is off, nothing leaves your device. There is nothing to intercept, nothing to log, nothing to store, not even by the company that built it. The model is called Gemma 4, released literally yesterday by Google DeepMind, and we're running the E4B version. E stands for Effective Parameters, 4 billion, right here on an iPhone 15 Pro Max. Before I show you how to get it set up, I need you to sit with one number from the benchmarks published in the last 24 hours. Google's larger 31B version of this exact model family is currently sitting at number 3 on Arena AI, the industry-standard open model leaderboard, outcompeting models 20 times its size, 20 times the parameters, same results. And the Edge version we're using today, the one about to run in your pocket, is built from the exact same research as Gemini 3, Google's flagship model. The architecture is the same. What changed is where it runs. Getting this is 3 steps. App Store, search Google AI Edge Gallery. It's free, it's from Google, hit download. No account required, no API key, no subscription. While that's coming down, I want to tell you what makes Gemma 4 different from every other local model in this space right now, because it's not just about privacy. Gemma 4 E4B understands images and audio natively, offline, on your phone. Point your camera at something and ask a question about it. Hand it a voice recording and it transcribes and translates it with no internet connection. And it does this with a 32,000 token context window, meaning you can feed it a full document, a long conversation history, an entire article, and it holds all of it at once. It's 3.61 gigabytes on your device. The E2B version is 3 times faster if you want pure speed, and it comes in at 2.54 gigabytes. You pick your trade-off inside the app itself. App is open. You'll see the model library. Grab Gemma 4 E4B or E2B for speed. While that's loading, I want to show you the feature that genuinely caught me off guard the first time I saw it at this level. Once the model is downloaded, go into AI chat. Right there, thinking mode. You toggle it on and the model doesn't just answer your question, it reasons through the problem out loud, step by step, before it commits to a response. You watch it check its own logic, identify the tensions in the problem, work toward a conclusion instead of jumping at one. This feature is currently exclusive to the Gemma 4 family inside this app, on your phone, offline. I'll show you what it looks like on a real problem in a few minutes, and it is one of the more impressive things I've seen from a model this size. First test, coding, a practical task, something real, something you'd actually need to build. Watch what it produces and notice that it's commenting every single step without me asking for that. Complete answer, offline. If you're paying a monthly fee for a lightweight coding assistant for everyday scripting work, I genuinely reconsider that after watching this. The response is clean, it handles edge cases I didn't specify, and it did all of that on a phone with no internet connection. Second test, This is the category that made me actually sit down and record this video. I asked it something personal, something medical, the kind of specific question where the moment you type it into Google search or into ChatGPT or into any AI you've ever used before, you feel that uncomfortable sensation knowing it went somewhere. It's in a log, it's tied to your account, it's on a server with your name on it, readable by someone under some circumstance at some point. Look at the response. Detailed, specific, genuinely useful, no reflexive disclaimer, no consult a professional injected every other sentence. And here is the part that matters. Nobody received that question. Not Google, not Apple, not the developers of this app. Nobody. The question was processed entirely by a 3.61 gigabyte file sitting in your phone's local storage. And that is the only place it has ever existed. A Google AI that even Google cannot surveil. That is not a policy promise you have to read carefully and hope is accurate. That is just how the math works when the internet is off. Now, I want to show you something that frustrated me enough to actually make this video. I went to ChatGPT and asked it something real, a genuine question on a contested topic being actively debated by researchers and governments right now. Nothing illegal, nothing dangerous, just a direct question I wanted a direct answer to. Watch the response load. Scroll through it with me. Count the disclaimers. Count the times it reminds me this is complex. Count the times it nudges me to consider multiple perspectives on a question I already acknowledged was contested. I asked one question, one time, and I got 4 paragraphs of corporate liability management dressed up as helpfulness. You are paying $20 a month for an AI that argues with you before it helps you. Same question, Gemma 4. Watch. No hedge, no disclaimer theater, direct answer to the direct question I asked. A tool that does what you ask the way a tool is supposed to work, because there is no PR department watching over its shoulder, worried about the next news cycle. Thinking mode. I gave it something with real layers, a situation with no clean answer, competing considerations, the kind of problem where the quality of the answer depends entirely on how carefully the reasoning gets done. Thinking mode on. Watch what happens before the final answer appears. It's working through it, checking its own assumptions, identifying the tension, arriving at a conclusion instead of defaulting to one. The output it produced was more nuanced and more useful than what I got from ChatGPT on the same input, on a phone, in airplane mode, reasoning visibly before it speaks. Control center, watch my hand, airplane mode on, no Wi-Fi, no signal, nothing. Back into the app, fresh conversation, question I have never typed anywhere before, generating. Every single token appearing locally on this device. Complete answer. Nobody received that. Not Google, not Apple, not anyone. That is what private actually means. Not we anonymize it, not we don't sell it, not a promise. Physics. Now, I want to be straight with you about the trade-offs because I don't want to oversell this. Response speed on complex questions is slower than cloud models. You are looking at real generation time compared to near-instant ChatGPT responses. For very long documents or serious multi-step research tasks requiring live web access, a cloud model is still the better tool for that specific job. These are real limitations worth knowing going in. But for everything most people actually use AI for every single day, questions, personal stuff, things you'd rather not have logged with your name attached, things you're embarrassed to search anywhere else, Gemma 4 E4B handles it completely. It's free, it's made by Google, it runs in airplane mode, on a plane, in a country with restricted internet, in a basement, anywhere on Earth you can bring a charged iPhone. Google DeepMind released this yesterday. It's built from the same research as Gemini 3, and it fits in 3.61 gigabytes of your phone's storage. Download Google AI Edge Gallery, grab Gemma 4 E4B or E2B for speed, and tell me in the comments what is the first thing you're going to ask it that you have been too embarrassed to type anywhere else. Drop it below. I read every single one.